What's up, guys? Welcome back to G Willie's Garage. Today I'm going to be putting spark plugs in my 2016 Ford F-150. This truck's got 105,000 miles on it and about 55-ish thousand miles on the spark plugs. Let's pop the hood and get started on this. To start off with, we got a couple 10mm bolts. There's one right there and one right there. We'll pop those off and then you can get this plastic cover off. The top of my engine's pretty dirty, so I'm going to use my air compressor and blow some of that loose dirt off so when I go to pull the plugs out, nothing falls down in the cylinder. I noticed an oil leak up here, right around here. So I looked up to see what those were, and apparently it's a VCT solenoid. So I'm going to do a little looking into that later on, but for now let's continue with the plugs. I'm going to unhook some of these wire looms. You just pull them off the stud like that, and then I'll disconnect the coils, which in order to do that you just pull out on that little white plastic clip, and then you should just be able to press down on it, wiggle it a little bit, and it'll pop off. I'm going to disconnect these VCT solenoids. I already got that one done. In order to get those off, I've just got a flat screwdriver. I'm going to press in on that. Pop that purple clip out. And then, just like the coils, squeeze down on it and just pull that back. I ended up disconnecting this thing here. It's just got the little connector right there, and there was another stud that had the little holder on it, so you just pull that off, and then now we can kind of peel this back, get it out of the way, get that first coil pack off. That stud that was holding the coil pack on was 8mm. Now I have a 5/8 socket and a long extension to give me plenty of room. Drop it down in there, and we'll pull the first spark plug out. There's the old spark plug that I just pulled out. It's the Ford brand. I went to the parts store and they didn't have any of those in stock, so I ended up getting some NGK Iridiums. Also, whoever changed the plugs in this thing last did not use any anti-seize, and it was pretty tough getting this out. So I'm going to put some anti-seize on these new plugs, make it easier to come out next time. Another thing, always check your new plugs over really good. Make sure there's not any cracks in the porcelain up here, and double check the gap. They're supposed to be gapped, but I've had it happen a lot where the gap is off. And also, if you're going to get these iridiums, make sure that point looks good. I've had it where I've went and bought some iridiums and that tip is busted off. So always check that. There's the part number if you're going to run those. Now would be a good time to replace this boot too, but they didn't have any in stock, and I looked this one over and it still looks to be in really good shape, so I'm just going to put it back in. I'm going to put some dielectric grease on the tip of this down in there where it connects to the spark plug, and then I'll put just a little bit in here too. You don't need a whole lot. Okay, first one's done. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of these, and I'll check back in with you guys when I'm done. I just got all 6 of them changed out, and on the driver's side, you got to disconnect this hose. Plugs in right there. That hose runs down and connects into your intake down there. But you got to pull that off, and it's just got a little clip there that you slide over and then you can pull it out. It was really tight to get off. I think I might put like a little bit of grease around this. That way it'll, for one, slide on easier, and if I ever got to take it back off, it'll come off a little easier. Alright, I got everything plugged back in. I'm going to start it up, see how it runs. Seems to be idling real smooth. Okay, so I got all the spark plugs changed. It's running good, idling good. I haven't drove it yet. I pulled that solenoid out, the one that was leaking, and just as I thought, it's got an O-ring on it. But I've done some looking, and I don't know if you can buy just an O-ring. I think you got to buy the entire solenoid. So I'm going to clean it up real good. I looked at the O-ring and it looks fine. I'm going to clean it up real good, put it back in and tighten it down and hope it doesn't leak. I think I'm gonna go drive it around for a little bit without the cover on the top and just make sure it's gonna run good and everything. And then when I get home, I'll pop the hood and see if I have oil back in that little spot where it was leaking. I just got home from driving it around. It drove good. As far as I can tell, I don't think it's leaking. I think that right there in the corner, I think that's just stuff I didn't get. I'm just gonna put the cover back on and I'll check it after a while. If it is leaking, it's not very bad, and if it is leaking, I'll just order a new solenoid off of Rock Auto. Alright, so that's how you change the spark plugs in a 2.7 liter Ecoboost. It's not bad at all, just, I mean, you got to get some stuff out of the way, but it's not terrible. But that's going to do it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching.